Hey, it's Central Valley Real Estate and Home Improvement. I'm your host, Steve Walling, and my guest for this segment is Janet Mitchell. Janet, welcome to the show. And you are with Two Sisters, I want to get this right, Vintage Home and Garden.
That's right.
And it's called Two Sisters because you do it all by yourself, right?
Well, actually, I do now. My sister and I did it for about 8 years, and then about a year ago, she stepped away from the vintage part of the business, and she now operates an embroidery business out of a corner in my shop. Yeah. Well, but it's still Two Sisters.
It's still Two Sisters. All right. Well, good deal. You've been doing it for 9 years. Obviously, you enjoy what you're doing.
I do.
And it's vintage, not necessarily antiques, but could be. And
yes, we carry a lot of mostly vintage items. Our mainstay is furniture.
Yeah.
And a lot of items we go out and we purchase, and then we repurpose them in some way, or maybe paint them or stain them, or turn a desk into an end table, or kind of repurpose the items that we find.
Well, that's got to be kind of an adventure, isn't it?
It is.
You know, you go out and you hunt around, you find things, and then you got to be creative with it, and then you bring it back, and you know, after you've done your magic to it, people come in, they go, well, that's incredible. That's a desk. You go, no, that's not a desk. That's an end table.
Yeah.
They go, wow, how awesome is that?
Or a lot of times they say, I could do that. And then they go home and they realize how much work it takes. And then they come back and decide, I think I like yours better.
Yeah, there you go. You've been in business 9 years.
Yes.
Obviously, you like it. As your business has, existed over 9 years, how has it evolved or changed, and how has it remained the same?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. When we first opened, people were looking for a lot of more rustic items than they are right now. They were looking for more rustic things that they could kind of repurpose themselves. And then through the years, I've noticed, and I even noticed with my own children who are all in their 20s and early 30s now, that the younger generation doesn't want older, rickety things. They want nice, clean lines. They want things. They don't want their grandmother's things.
There's no understanding the younger generation.
Right.
But if you're providing vintage things for them, you do have to. And so you've got to kind of discern that and then repurpose, if you will, to meet their needs.
Right.
That's got to be an adventure.
Right. And even in the 10 years we've been doing it, used to be we would sell a lot of little teacups and glassware and linens and lace doilies, and that's kind of, as far as we are concerned, that's gone by the wayside. Yeah. Kids don't want that. They want non-fussy.
Yeah, like antique skateboards.
Right.
Okay.
But a big seller is still rusty garden items, old buckets, picking ladders. People are using those to decorate with out in their gardens.
Oh, cool. That's good. Yeah. In the market today, as you're looking out in the market, as you said, the younger people, they're looking at different things. How does your market meld with like the real estate housing market? I mean, do you see where we've got a lot of new homes coming in, and people are buying them? Do you see, people looking for things that are kind of unique to
They are, especially architectural salvage items, like old columns or corbels or pieces of staircases, the corbel sections they will use for a candle holder or things like that. They like the nice and sleek, but they do want some objects that are reminiscent of the past.
Something gives them a little flavor and texture and stuff.
Right, something to personalize their home.
And you've got that.
We do.
Oh, that's great.
We do.
You also got something that you do on a monthly basis, is it?
Yes, the second Saturday of every month we have a swap meet out in our parking lot.
Okay.
And we've been doing this for 9 years also.
Yeah. And
we rent out 40 spaces.
Wow.
And people can come and bring their items to sell in the parking lot.
Okay, so that's not just your stuff being...
No, it's none of our things.
Okay, this is for the community to come.
Right.
And all right, that's great.
Our only exclusions are no food and no clothes and no brand new items, because we try and keep it kind of vintage, our shop. Yeah. But we've been doing it for 9 years. We have a great turnout. We have probably half of my vendors are the same ones every month.
Really?
And the other half are people that they're cleaning out their garage, or they're moving, or a relative has passed away, and they have all these items they would like to get rid of. So
My
it's a
wife
fun
wants
day.
to do that on a regular basis. Move my stuff out. No, we're not doing that. Yeah.
Well,
that's
she
gotta
needs
be
to
great.
come rent a spot from me.
There you go. No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, in the 9 years, is there like a particular item that you had that kind of stands out as really being, exceptional or outrageous or whatever that somebody bought and took to their home?
Actually, there's two things, and both of them are in the last couple months. One, I came across, and someone just came in and asked me if I wanted to buy it from them, and it was a small child singer sewing machine that women back in the teens and the 20s, they would teach their daughter, normally, probably, to sew on this little machine. And so I ran across that, and I absolutely fell in love with it and took it home, oiled it up and cleaned it, brought it to the shop, and it sold the first day
It's
I
got
brought
a
it
little
back.
thing that sticks out on the thing that you would hand crank it.
Exactly.
I know. I'm old enough to know. Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I do remember those. Yeah. And
And
what was the other thing?
The other thing was it was a very large wooden clock. It was about 36 inches tall, and it was like the Black Forest cuckoo clocks. But it wasn't a cuckoo clock, but it was all carved with deer and elk and
it's not like
birds
a
and
grandfather
leaves.
clock or
No,
anything like
it
that?
just sat
What a
on a
unique-
table, and
Yeah.
it was really, really a neat piece.
And you let that go.
And
huh?
again, a gentleman came in and said, because I didn't know yet what I was going to ask for it, and he said, when you decide to sell it, let me know. And so I called him, and he came in and he bought it. So
Shame on you for selling
I
that.
know. It was not
You've
something
got-
I would want in my home, but it was
But
gorgeous.
you've got to have had stuff that has transitioned through your store that you just go, wow.
Yeah.
But
And
you
when-
can't do that.
Right. When I first started the business, a lot of things ended up in my home, but very quickly I realized I can't take everything home, and
Yeah.
so now I'm more selective. And
Well, that's great.
yeah. The other thing we have at the shop is one little corner. We have a book room where people can come in and exchange books or
Books now,
take
how
books.
antique
Yeah,
is that? I mean,
yeah.
in today's world. So
And-
you
yeah.
okay? And,
So
and
we
you
have-
do an book exchange?
Yes, we do. We have
Cool.
several thousand books, I would say.
Really?
And so we have a lot of people that come in every week with their bag of books and drop them off and pick out more books and take those home. So
that's great.
kind of a neat
Yeah, what a
feature.
that's something you bring kind of a richness and a color to the community by doing that.
Yeah.
That's all nice, but if I don't know where you're at and if I can't get a hold of you or find you, it really is not going to do me a lot of good.
Okay.
Right? So where you at?
We are on the northeast corner of Shaw and Academy in Clovis, and it's actually it's about 7 miles east of Clovis Avenue on Shaw.
Okay.
And there's a little strip mall there. There's a Red Caboose is the anchor at one end, and then there's a Ferrogas propane company, and then there is a farrier that just opened up, and I can't think of the name of his business right now, and then our shop.
In your shop.
Yeah, and then on the corner there's a gas station convenience store, Loma Vista.
Well, that,
So-
not only do you got a nice concept, and I love the way you describe your store, but you're in a great location out there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It is.
That's a great place to hop in the car and take a nice drive out there. And,
It is. I live in the lower end of Prather, and so it's
Okay.
about a 20-minute drive for me in the morning and the evening, and it's right in the middle of all the blooming trees this time of year. So
that's great.
it is a beautiful location.
You got a webpage?
I do not. I just have my Facebook.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's not uncommon.
Facebook.
At least you've got that, and I think in today's world, web pages are kind of becoming passé, and Facebook or Instagram or there's a whole list of those that you'd need to be a millennial to
Right. Right.
But what is your Facebook page?
It's just Two Sisters Vintage Home and Garden, TWO.
Okay,
And so
Yeah.
I post pictures there
I was going to ask.
weekly. I post all the new items that are coming
So
in.
I'm perusing and I see an item that you posted. I can call you up and
You
say,
can.
yeah,
Yeah, my phone number is 298-1699.
yeah.
And you can call and ask any questions if you need me to measure it for you or, give you the dimensions or the cost or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the other good thing, my husband just retired, and so he is a very good woodworker.
Oh.
And he is making benches and tables and different things like that I paint and fix up. And so we have a whole new selection of things now.
It's amazing what retired husbands can do and learn to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, Janet.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And
I
sharing
enjoyed
that.
it.
You know, you've got your monthly yard
Swap meet.
Swap meet. Okay. I want you to come on back, and you know, if you got something special going on, maybe you know, there's a holiday themed, or
Okay.
you know, you're running a special of some kind. Come on back and let's share it. All right?
I would love to do that.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
It's a nice drive out there, and you know, if you're looking to add some accent to your home, you know, this might just be the place to be. I'll see you when we come back.